Well, Ron DeSantis' loudmouth press secretary, Christina Pushaw, and no, I don't say that in a sexist way. I say that in that Ms. Pushaw attacks anybody on Twitter and everybody who slightly criticizes her little gnome-like boss as he goes around taking pleasure in trying to exact revenge against anybody who slightly disagrees with him. Disney being an example everybody knows about because they didn't want to torture trans and gay kids. And more recently, the Tampa Bay Rays for just tweeting out during one of their baseball games after the massacre at Uvalde and the other one in Buffalo, gun violence statistics to educate people. He saw that as political because, of course, that's what the right sees. If you tell people the actual numbers, they'll know that gun violence is insane and out of control and can be fixed. So now he's canceling a $35 million practice facility for them. But that's not even what this video is about. It's about Christina Pushaw, who numerous commentators brought up the fact of her close ties to the president of Georgia. And no, I don't mean Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia in the United States. I mean the country of Georgia that's closely tied to Vladimir Putin. Pushaw was working for the president, Mikhail Saakashvili, from 2018 to 2020 through the Justice Department when Donald Trump was in charge. She's kept working for them since. Here's the problem. She's a foreign agent. She had not registered as a foreign agent. She claimed that it was all voluntary. It was not voluntary. She was paid $25,000 by them for all sorts of lobbying of our government and using her position as chief of staff to one of the most prominent Republican governors and, in one of the largest states to try to push the policy of Vladimir Putin. As if you needed any more proof from Donald Trump to Michael Flynn, to Roger Stone, and the rest of them, all of whom were basically just cut out spies and useful idiots for Donald Trump, both during the 2016 election and while he was in office, which is why magically, we backed off of protecting Ukraine, and look at where that has gotten us. It led Vladimir Putin to attack. He didn't have to attack when Trump was in office because Trump handed everything to him and said, yeah, go into Georgia, go anywhere you want. Keep going in. But not Georgia, sorry, East Crimea. But now with Biden, of course, they were looking at somebody who didn't just do their bidding and wouldn't just get paid off to do any damn thing they asked. So they've kept pressuring. And what's insane here is I'd like Republicans to just sort of raise their hand that are not people that need to register as foreign agents at this point. Christina Pushaw is only the latest. Obviously, we know Paul Manafort and others in the Trump campaign were lobbying for foreign governments. We found out that numerous other Republicans have been lobbying or working with the Hungarian government. We find out that Matt Schlapp, Michael Flynn, was working for Erdogan, ready to kidnap somebody out of our country because he was being paid by Turkey. Mehmet Oz, who's running for the Senate in Pennsylvania, was in the Turkish army, votes there, is good friends with the dictator there. Will he share our national security? We don't know. Literally, it's impossible. Rand Paul ran a notice, a letter from Trump to Putin, while 5-6 other senators, John Thune among Republican leadership, went and literally kissed the Russians' asses on our Independence Day, July 4th, and almost what Putin had to be doing as a sort of thank you, sir, may I have another punishment to them, 8 months after they attacked our election. We are awash in foreign money. Alito, who claimed that wouldn't happen after Citizens United, is an idiot. He'll also be an idiot on Roe soon. But this is ludicrous. If you look at this, Pushaw recently notified the DOJ their work on behalf of Saakashvili likely required FARA registration. Oh, now she realizes that. That's nice. And this has all been going on again while she's been press secretary, a loud, obnoxious, in-your-face press secretary to one of the Republican contenders in 2024. Literally probably what most people consider the biggest contender. Like, his right-hand woman is owned by Putin and Georgia. It's insane. And so now she's registering. And the thing that's crazy about all of this is at the same time, you've got a general registering. There's incriminating evidence the FBI just got on a former general under Donald Trump who was lobbying from Qatar. You may remember our policy when the rest of the Middle East tried to isolate Qatar. Originally, we were with them. Suddenly, Mike Pompeo had a talk with Trump and a few other people, and Qatar had a friendlier view. Qatar also then relieved its debt to Jared Kushner for a stupid building he bought. I think that was the 666 Fifth Avenue one, which there's never been a better number for Jared Kushner. This is just to let you know how deep this all is. The name of the general, Marine General John R. Allen, led U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan, joined the Brookings Institution. Oh, and yeah, I should have registered for FARA because he's been pushing behind the scenes Qatari interests in the United States. You've got him with Qatar. You've got Paul Manafort and Trump's whole group with Russia. Mitch McConnell. Look a little deeper into his wife's connections. It's come out, and everybody's scared of being called racist. Her father is tied into the Chinese government, and we've done all sorts of favors for them. The Republican Party literally is completely owned by foreign entities. They should just have one large FARA registration party. That's what would work best. But right now, we need to be worried about DeSantis, who runs the third biggest state, who is likely to, or has a good chance of being the Republican nominee in 2024. And right next to him, one of his top people is a agent of foreign influence. For all we know, a spy. We don't know the whole story yet. We just know that she's out there lobbying and pushing on behalf of the very same of the government that is united with Russia and backed Russia's genocidal attack on Ukraine, not to mention their attack on our elections process. Just might be worth looking into.